What's up, everyone? We are back again. Another episode of FGC Behind the Smoke. I know you've waited a whole week to hear our lovely voices again, but don't fret because here we are once again.
Yeah, your fix will be in right now.
Exactly. And yes, Boris is still in Australia. He's eating more and more avocado toast.
Terrible. No, no, we won't talk about that anymore. It'll be kangaroo meat.
Yeah, so Boris is eating raw kangaroo. No, just kidding. Yeah, so what's up, everyone? We're back. We have a good episode today. Boris, what is our episode?
Today's episode is Don't Talk to Us If. So we kind of created this episode because we've dealt with some people in the past who essentially are not who we think would make good firefighters. And Adamo said it in a previous episode, we're very honest with our clients and the people in our lives. And if you're thinking of coming and becoming a firefighter and you have some of these attributes that we're going to talk about today, don't even bother talking to us.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
we don't want your business, if we don't think that you're somebody who's gonna be good at this job and all that kind of stuff, right? So we want to help good people get hired who are doing this for the right reasons. So yeah. So, I think in maybe one of our first episodes, Boris, I think I remember mentioning, if you're somebody who just wants to get into this because, you get the quote unquote, two sleepovers, two barbecues. Well, we're not the coaches for you to come and hire if that's what your motivation is, right? The people that we want to help get hired are people who are going to take this seriously. They want to do this because they actually want to be firefighters. They want to do the job. They want to be good at the job. These are the people that we want to help.
Absolutely. Like you said, if you're thinking of breaks when you're applying to this job, we don't want to have any part of it. We want people that are like, okay, what department can I go to where I can really do the job that I want to do? Right.
Exactly.
This job is for people who are hardworking, who want to push themselves, who want to see what their limits are, to do a job that most people don't want to do, right? Firefighters are going into a fire when most people are coming out of it, right? If your plan is to ask about how many breaks you get, what the pay is, that might be an important question to you, but to us, it isn't, and we don't really want to be a part of it.
Yeah, exactly, right? If you're just like, "Oh, well, I have a buddy who's a firefighter and, I heard about how much time off there is or, how much vacation time you guys get or that you get to work out at the hall or whatever, right? I mean, working out is obviously a really good thing, but that's something that you have to earn, right? Like, a
Mhm.
lot of the stuff that we've heard from some people that we just don't want to take on as clients is stuff like that. They just want to get into the job for those reasons and not for the reasons of, serving your community, right? Helping people, being part of a team. It's just, and it can be frustrating too, right? Like hearing people who want to get into this for a reason that we just don't see as a good enough reason.
Yeah, and somebody else might see that as a good reason, and they might be like, "Yeah, sure, we'll help you out, get hired." But Adamo and I are not the type of people who want to work with someone like that, so we're not gonna help you work with us if that's the type of person you are, essentially.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And if you're somebody who you think you're the best at everything and your shit doesn't stink and you think you're the smartest person in the room all the time, like you're going to see like if you get hired somewhere and you have that kind of attitude, you're going to have a tough time probably, right?
Yeah.
Firefighters are people who are supposed to be humble, confident, in good shape, right? And people who want to do the job because they actually care about the community and about helping people, right? About making a difference, right? So yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like we don't really want to work with someone and help them get hired if we know that they're into it for the wrong reasons, because also our reputation as well is on the line, right? If this person gets hired somewhere and they're like, "Oh yeah, I went to FGC and they helped me get hired." Well, that can reflect poorly on us too, right? And it's just not something that we're we're interested in.
Recruiters are the same way, right? They're going to be interviewing, they're going to be, putting you through the physical tests, written tests, all that stuff to see if they want to work with you for the next 30 years, right? And if they don't want to work with you, they're not going to stop you from getting the job, but you're just not going to get the job with them, right?
Yeah.
And you and I, Adam, they're pretty much the same as any recruiters. Like we feel the same way. If we don't feel like working with you for the next 20, 25 years, like we're not going to stop you from getting a job, but we don't want any part of helping you get it either.
Yeah,
Right.
we don't want your business if that's how it's going to be. And like we've said before, we're very honest with our clients, right? You do a first initial consultation with us, which is, only a 30-minute consultation with us where we get to kind of know you a bit, figure out what your goals are, why you want to get into this, right? If we don't think that you're going to be a good fit, then, we're not going to take you on as a client, right? And in that initial consultation, that's really what a lot of it is about, is do we want to take this person on as a client? Do we feel like they're going to be good at this job, right? So yeah, just keep that in mind. Like if you want to reach out to us for consulting services, that's awesome. But if you're doing this for the wrong reasons, or if you have an attitude problem, or if you're talking bad about other departments that you applied to because they didn't hire you, and oh, it's their loss because I'm such a good candidate. Well, you know what, you're probably not that good of a candidate.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know
and that initial consultation that we offer, that's free. So guys, like if you're listening to this, we give you 30 minutes of our time for free. We want to hear you out. We want to hear your story and we want to help you out. But if you are not the right fit, then yeah, we just don't want your business. So just think about that carefully. Not just for us and like listening to us and potentially, coming on as a client with us, but like just coming on as a firefighter as a whole. If you just want to get on to get a firefighter t-shirt and a badge, I have some tough news for you that you're not going to do well. If that's your mentality going into the fire service, you're not going to not just do well, but you're also not going to excel, and you also might get hurt on the job.
yeah, very true, right? Because if that's all you care about is just having that status as a firefighter, you're probably someone who's not going to care about training and drilling and being good and efficient at the job. You just want people to know that you're a firefighter. Well, you know what, you're probably not going to be very good, right?
Yeah.
There's no problem with being proud of being a firefighter. I'm proud to be one. You're proud to be one, Boris, right?
Mhm.
But there's a big difference between being proud of what you do and just wanting to be able to have this status so you can go out to the bar and tell people that you're a firefighter. I've heard of stories of people from all over the country, running into someone at a bar who's wearing, a fire department t-shirt and who's acting like an idiot, or wearing a fire department hat, and that clearly states the department that they work for, and they're acting like a moron at the bar, pissing people off and stuff. Like, I mean, it's just not something that I think it's just such a bad look. And it's just, yeah, if you're one of those people, you're not really the type of client that we want to take on.
Yeah, attitude's a big thing, right? Another one is like if you're not in shape, shape is a bit subjective thing because I think some people, it's very hard to judge, physical fitness in a 30-minute initial consultation with us, right? We're not
Hmm.
going to be like, oh,
Yeah,
this guy's way out of shape or this guy looks fit. But if you personally feel like you're not in the shape, don't apply. Like start working out, start getting your health up before you even start applying, right?
exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who, look like they could be out of shape. Um, who are actually like in pretty good shape, right? Like football players and stuff like that. I know there's been a
Mhm.
few departments who have hired, former CFL players and stuff like that who are big boys, right? But
Mhm.
they're in good shape, right? So like if you know that you're gonna have a hard time passing the physical for a department, it's not the time for you to apply then. Like that's something that you need to work on. That's not something that just happens overnight.
Yeah, exactly. Like take that couple of minutes to do a gut check, be like, can I actually do this job? Like, should I apply right now? And That's something we talked about in one of the very first episodes. I think it's one of our it's in our checklist. Uh,
Yeah.
like start with your physical fitness now and apply later. Like to work on your health first, because there's no point in, getting consultation services or starting a fire process when you're nowhere near ready physically. Like physical fitness takes months, if not years, to get into a level that you can actually start applying with, right?
Yeah, yeah, it does for sure. That's another thing too that we ask during the initial consultation, right? Is what are you doing for your fitness? Like what is your workout plan looking like? What do you do to stay in shape, right? And if you're
Mhm.
like, oh, I don't really work out much, like I don't really, whatever. Well, then that kind of tells us that you're really not taking it that seriously because it is a physical job, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing is also try to think about it if you haven't gotten your 1001s. We've taken clients up before that don't have their 1001s, which is fine. That's our decision to make. And we've made that decision because they were good people and we wanted to help them. But if you are thinking of coming to us and you don't have your 1001s yet, which is your initial bread and butter firefighting certificate, take that extra time to actually complete it and then come to us after that.
Yeah,
Right.
because you could potentially, come to us, pay for consulting services, and then do your 1001 and realize like, oh, you know what, this isn't for me, right? And then now you've wasted a bunch of your money, and then turns out that you don't even want to get into it anymore, right?
Yeah, your time, our time. It's just go through the 1001s first, do your firefighting bread and butter course, go through that confined space, go into a burn building, rappel off a building, all those things that might be gut checks for some people, put on all that gear and sweat in it for a few days in that course and see if you still want to do this job.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Don't come to us before that because it's just going to waste everyone's time. And it's just also, you're probably going to feel bad about quitting when you really shouldn't. Like, we expect and hope people quit before they actually get into a fire hall when they actually have to watch somebody's back.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
100%.
like I'd way
Absolutely.
rather, I'd way rather you quit before we get into a fire.
Yeah,
That way I know at least the people watching my back want to be there, right?
exactly. Yeah. Anything else, Boris, that you can think of as a reason why people shouldn't hire us?
Um, no, I think that's pretty much it, man. Like attitude's obviously a big thing, fitness, attitude towards the job, like we said, like just wearing the t-shirt or just wanting the paycheck or the breaks or time off or whatever, right? Again, we're not going to stop you from getting this job, but we're not looking for your business if this is why you want to join.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well
Um,
said.
but yeah, if you do, then we're more than welcome. We're more than happy to help you out and come reach out to us, and we'll have a great time and get you a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. We're on YouTube. We're
Yeah,
we're
buddy.
YouTube guys now.
Yeah, yeah, big YouTubers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you can basically listen to this everywhere now.
Sorry.
Apple, Spotify. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, there's no escaping it.
Yeah, big shout out to Francesco. He's making all that possible. So
Yeah,
thanks,
the
buddy.
guru.
Yeah.
We still got to get shirts made with the guru.
Yeah, Francesco Guru shirts. Can't wait.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're just getting into this job because you want a Guru t-shirt, don't come talk to us either.
Yeah.
We know that Guru shirt is coveted.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah. Best of luck, everyone. We're gonna have some guests coming up here quick, and yeah, stay safe and enjoy the weather.
Yeah, and lay off the avocado toast. Just it's
Yeah.
not worth the chirps. So we have just created our Patreon program and it's online. We'll put a link in the description of this episode. It's got all our freebies on there. So it's got resume templates, the interview checklist,
the competitive edge checklist.
Yeah, competitive edge checklist.
And we're also going to be diving into more in-depth interview episodes and hiring process stuff. And we're going to be posting it on there. It really does help us out because then we're able to pay Francesco for producing this podcast. If it wasn't for him, we'd be hooped.
You guys missed the part where we were just trying to turn this microphone on before this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we wouldn't be anywhere without him. So we'd like to start paying him a lot more.
And it's also going to be a way for us to just upgrade to better audio equipment, better cameras, better lighting, and all that kind of stuff to bring you guys a better experience with this podcast.
Yeah, and that was your idea actually, Damo, with the whole going over every interview question kind of in depth and really getting into the interview panel stuff.
Yeah, we'll be going into that in really great detail, really breaking apart the questions and just talking about like what they're actually asking in these questions, right? And yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of info, a lot of really, really good info.
And if it's not, let us know. We also have a chat group in there as well on Patreon.
That's right.
So if there's, guests you want us to see, bring on, or if there's questions you want us to ask or talk about on the podcast, you're more than welcome to ask us on there.
Yeah, for sure. And like when it comes to those behavioral / situational type questions, we can break down a question and talk about it for probably half an hour. Yeah. Right. Just one question.
Easily.
So there's going to be a lot of really good info on that. And like we said, it's going to really help support the podcast so we can upgrade better equipment and also keep Francesco around so that way there is a podcast.
Chaining him down to the table would be too cruel.
Yeah. Right on. That's okay. I'll find something else to chirp you for.
Perfect. I can't wait. Tune in next episode.
Right on. See ya.